Hi, Stoff.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
Good. Well, I'll be the injury update guy. Mike Smith was not with the main group today. Devon Shore not on the ice. You mentioned
Devon Shore is going to miss 4 to 6 weeks.
LBI, lower body injury.
Lower body injury, 4 to 6 weeks, yeah. So that one's, that's what the timetable was yesterday after an MRI. Mike Smith skated for an hour with Schwartzy before the group today, so
Okay.
he'll go on the trip and we'll see where he gets to.
Ryan McLeod going to meet the team in Detroit?
That hasn't been determined yet. We're talking about that
Okay.
this afternoon.
Just a thought, Cassian played with Nugent Hopkins last year in the playoffs against Winnipeg. You moved him up to that line with Hyman, and Yamamoto and Ryan had some success in Priest. Just a different look, or?
Just trying a different thing in practice today. We'll see what, just having the ability to go on the road and tweak things. And that third line was good early, and they kind of tailed off a little bit. And so we'll just see. We'll see how it goes tomorrow.
He concluded the regular season last year, 7 straight wins on the road, 3 straight road wins to start this year.
Jinx it, Stoff. Don't jinx it.
Okay. There's no such thing as jinx, Dave. But is there something about maybe, do you get to your game quicker sometimes on the road? Do you think more of a straight line approach, or?
I hope so, because we got 8 of the next 10 on the road, so
right.
Get a good test at it. But no, I think you got something there. You go and play a real simple, solid game, and you kind of kind of hunker down. Everybody wants to make sure they're playing solid, so that's the mindset going in on the road. They call it a strong, solid road game for a reason, because you usually go in there and try to play a solid game, not real fancy, but just try to find the way to get 2 points.
Same issue that Shore had in training camp before missing the first 2 games?
What's it? No.
Same issue? Well,
no.
Different? Okay.
Different.
Because I didn't even see him, the incident.
Yeah, totally different.
Okay. Tyson Barrie, he gets a lot of points. With the fans and with media people, they say all he does is get points. He can't defend. How do you feel as a coach? Obviously, it's wrong because he plays lots of minutes.
Well, I usually come to my own conclusions, not from the fans and from you guys. So
I asked, what does the coach think?
Yeah, the coach thinks he's doing fine. He gets points. He finds ways to create opportunities for people, and he can defend. It's just sometimes there's people that defend better than him, and just like we use him to get the offensive side, there's people that he does things way better than other people at that. We have some people in some situations that might defend better than him, but he can defend. It's not as if there's no defending going on. He understands the game. He's not a big guy. He he defends with position. It doesn't overpower anybody, but is being in the right spot at the right time. So it's not as if he can't defend. It's just sometimes we have other people that we put in that situation that we think can do it better. And just like when we get in a situation like the other night, we had Tyson out there going a lot in the offense because we were chasing the game, and he does that better.
You played Tyson, though, 44 minutes against Winnipeg in the 3 overtime games, so obviously he can play defense too, or he wouldn't have played 44 minutes.
He can play both sides of it.
Evan Bouchard, the last couple of games, he hasn't been quite as good in your mind, or how do you look at it as a young player?
Yeah, he was really good, went through a stretch of 3 or 4 games really strong, and then you're just looking for different looks sometimes. Sometimes it's not that a player's playing bad, it's another player's playing really good. So it's not, every time you switch something out, it's not because somebody's playing bad, somebody else is playing. You got to get them on the ice more. And that was the case the other night with Tyson. Tyson was moving the puck, he's jumping. We decided to put him on the ice more. Simple as that.
And Darnell seems to be the one constant on your blue line. He plays, and then you play whoever you want to play with him.
That could have been one of Darnell's best games last game. He was skating, moving his feet, really engaged in the game. So he's going to find, you're going to find minutes for him. He's plays a lot of situations for us.
Is there a chance that Skinner will play on this road trip?
We're going to talk about it this afternoon as coaches here and just see where it is. I've got to get an update on Schmitty here today, how he felt. He's, he went a whole hour out there today and did a lot of stuff, so we'll see where he's at before we make any decisions on goaltenders.
But you'll take three.
Three, yeah, all three of them will come, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Tyson and Zach wrote here and said when it was 4-1, they didn't feel great about it, obviously, but there was the focus on getting back in it. Can you contrast that attitude and maybe, I mean, I'm sure you've had a lot of different teams where maybe a 3-goal deficit, you noticed some sag on the bench as opposed to what you noticed on Friday?
Yeah, I think I said it the other day. This group really believes in themselves. Like they believe that. You look at it, it was a 4-1 game. I felt like we were getting some chances, and then every time I turned around, we were down another one. One off a skate in the power play. I mean, so it's after the second period, or when Jesse got that goal near the end, we get it to 4-2. I heard the guys talking between periods. I said, hey, let's go out and just play really, really sound, work hard, and see if we can draw a penalty. And if we can get a power play, it'll give us another bit of juice, and then we'll go from there. So it was there was no panic in the group whatsoever. It was about going and finding a way to win, which is kind of what we talked about all year.
So would you say there's no panic in a group? Does that stem from confidence in the abilities of the players, or is that a factor that you just have older players, maybe more experienced?
Well, I think when you're doing well as a team and you have, you feel good about your team coming back. Our team's been a team that we've been able to score at a pretty good clip this year. You recognize you still got a chance. So there's nobody was discouraged. You're discouraged because you're down, but it's not discouraged. You're more pissed off. You're down, and you got to find a way to get back. So, it's not as if we weren't getting chances. We were getting some chances. There was a lot of parts of our game we really liked. We just had to find a way to score more than them.
Afternoon, Dave, just in the back here. I know we asked you about McDavid's goal after the game on Friday, but now that you've had a little bit of time to maybe look at some replays, in your opinion, do you think that's one of the best goals he's ever scored? Because a lot of players have come out and said that's the best score.
I don't know. I've seen him score some pretty nice ones, so it's got to be thrown right in that group. But it's the one. It's not. I mean, it's the goal, but it's the meaning of the goal, where it is in the game. The one that, that's a huge goal for us to tie up a game late in the game. So that's the thing that I like about it. It was done at a time where it was really needed. It wasn't a useless goal, up 8-2 and he scores a beautiful goal. That's a goal that really matters. I compared it to the one, I think it was the first game 2 years ago against Vancouver when he came back. He scored a late goal like that, like all of a sudden out of nothing he ends up alone on the goalie and scores the winning goal. So the one the other night, that the situation it was in and the impact the goal had on the game is what makes it a great goal.
You talked about all those circumstances, also celebrating a legend that night with a lot of legends in the building. It's pretty fitting that he scored a goal like that on a night.
Well, I think everybody in our room has so much respect for all those guys and what they've done. It's, when they're around, guys recognize that. They want to play well. They've put a standard in place for the Oilers that is, pretty tall, and you want to try to reach that as much as you can.
Thanks, Dave.
All right.